Today we're building the ultimate standing desk setup. Whether you're a gamer, content creator, or streamer, this should help you out. Now, I'm not a full-time content creator, but I've been trying to create content over the last 3 years while being a husband and a dad. And being organized helps you so much. And if you watch my last video, I'm trying to be better about that by renovating one of our spare bedrooms into my studio. But after using it for the last month or so, I realized that it was missing something special, and that's a dedicated place to make content. Because every time I need to film a video, I can't just move my gaming setup or my editing setup just to film a video. I make setup videos, PC videos, and really cool gaming tech videos, so I need plenty of space to do this without affecting my workflow. Now, in the past, I've tried some cheap standing desks and they were okay, but now that I have room for a good standing desk, I'm partnering with my friends over at Vernal. Just a heads up, this video is sponsored by Vernal, but listen very closely. They only want me to share with you all the things this desk can do. All the other opinions are my own, and there's more to this setup than just the desk. And if at the end of the video you decide that you might actually want one of these desks, it's actually one of the more affordable desks on the market, and I'll have a discounted link down in the description, or you can use the code on the screen. But let's start by seeing how easy it is to put together. Now, before we open the boxes, the number one thing you need to know about standing desks is you can tell right off the bat with how it's shipped, whether it's gonna be good quality or bad quality. If everything comes in one box, it's not gonna be the best desk. Hopefully Vernal sent theirs in two separate boxes, one with the top of the desk and one for the legs. If the top of the desk ever comes in two pieces, one, it's not gonna look as good in videos, and two, it's not gonna be as sturdy. But let's unbox it and check it out. The desk was actually way easier to put together than what I thought. It only took me about an hour or so, which is pretty good for a high quality desk. A couple of things I noticed during the installation process are the legs of the desk are super thick and sturdy. Anytime that you're putting together a desk and the legs are not that heavy or not that thick, I've had a lot of wobble with the desk. Now, we haven't done a wobble test yet, but we're going to, so just hold on. And once again, I just want to point out that the desk is one solid piece and not two separate pieces, which makes a huge difference not only in stability and how much weight the desk can hold, but it also just looks so much cleaner not having a giant crack in the middle of your desk. Also, when connecting the legs to the actual desktop itself, I noticed that Vernal had added an additional connection between the legs and the side brackets. That seems to be something that could add a little bit more structure and stability to it. Most of the other desks that I've put together tend to separately connect the legs and the side brackets to the crossbar, which is going to make a huge difference in content creation or streaming so that you don't have the camera constantly shaking. Now, if I understand correctly, the weight limit for this desk is like 160 kilograms, which according to the conversion that I did on Google is around 350 pounds. So I'm a 300-pound dude. I'm trying to lose weight, guys. Just, you can make fun of me in the comments, that's fine. But the fact that this desk can hold me up is pretty impressive. So we're gonna press this button here and we're gonna see if it can actually lift my fat tail up. I'm not gonna lie, this is a little scary. The fact that I've never seen a standing desk that could hold my fat tail up, and we're gonna go back down, but it lifted me with pretty much no problems. Where's the other button, please? There we go. Please go down. I don't wanna be up here anymore. All right. So I definitely think the weight limit checks out pretty well, the fact that it could lift my fat tail up and down. Now, another thing that I really like about this desk is the color options that they had. Now, I ended up going with this darker wood color just because I think it goes really well with my black walls and my black office theme. But if you go onto their website, they have plenty of options to choose from. You can get white legs or black legs, and they have a ton of different options for the tabletops that you can choose from. But I am really loving how this color ended up looking in person. Sometimes when you look online and you look at the color of something, it turns out being totally different when it actually shows up at your house. That was not the case with this table. Another thing that's really important with standing desks is being able to set presets and then save. Now, some other standing desks I've used in the past, you can like save the presets, but anytime you unplug the desk, it just totally wipes away the memory, and that's not the case with this desk. It's got a very premium control feature here. You can set up to 3 preset options, which is great for me so that I can have different heights for the filming that I'm doing, and I don't have to worry about resetting that every time. It also has a child safety lock feature, so if you've got little ones running around that might press the buttons on your desk, you can lock it so when you're not around, they can't mess with it, which I don't think I've ever seen before and is a super nice touch. Not to mentioned, one of my favorite parts is the built-in cable management tray. I mean, you do have to install it in the assembly part, but the fact that they do have some sort of tray already built in to their ecosystem where you can actually store your cables and not just have them dangling around, it's gonna really help me out because I'm constantly putting monitors or computers or laptops or whatever on top of my desk. So just having a quick and easy way to plug something into a power strip is going to really help me out. But now it's time to talk about accessories. And Vernal has some really cool accessories you can pick, but I only actually picked 2 accessories for my desk because again, it's gonna be a content creation / possibly streaming setup for me. So I wanted very minimal things for this setup. Starting with the most important thing for me was wheels. Now, because I'm going to be moving this desk around, trying to get different angles, putting stuff on top of the desk, building computers on top of the desk, filming monitors, keyboards, mouse, all that kind of stuff, I needed to be able to move it around. And because of my space here, I want to also have plenty of room to walk to the other side of my room, walk through my room to go get stuff out of the living room. I didn't want to be cramped. So being able to roll the desk out of the way when I'm not using it is going to be such a nice touch. And so I had to go with the wheels. And in fact, adding the wheels to the desk was actually super duper cheap and didn't really cost that much money. The second accessory that I chose was actually a drawer up underneath the desk. And again, it's really cool that the desk already comes pre-cut with all these accessory holes underneath the desk. So if you don't want to add it right now and you want to add it later, you already have the holes underneath the desk to go ahead and screw it in so that it's pre-cut for you and you don't have to worry about drilling or anything like that for yourself. Now it's made for a keyboard drawer, but the main reason that I wanted it is because I plan on storing stuff like screws, screwdrivers, things like that inside of it because I'm constantly building and taking apart computers, and it's gonna really help me just to have that in a nice, neat place in case I ever need an extra screw or anything like that. I'm not gonna have to run around looking for it, and I can just have a nice little compartment here up under the desk to have that whenever I need it. Of course, you could just put a keyboard and mouse in there if you wanted to, but again, it just all depends on the use that you're making for it. Overall, I'm super happy with the desk. It's really awesome whether I'm doing B-roll shots where I'm clamping something to the edge of the desk. With the wobble is not really that bad. In desks in the past, when I've used my clamp to get a top-down shot, as you can see here, it's been super wobbly in the past, and this desk makes it pretty sturdy. Even with me shaking it barely. Now, I mean, obviously, if you knock the crap out of it, it's gonna shake, but just me bumping it occasionally makes it still a pretty steady shot, and I'm super duper happy with that, so I can clamp that on and off. It also has plenty of room for me to add a monitor, a computer, a keyboard, a mouse, and still film the entire desk setup and making it look super duper nice. So whether I'm reviewing a monitor, a computer, a full gaming setup, I have the perfect desk where it shows up really good on camera. You can see all the parts of whatever I'm filming, and it just looks really nice and aesthetically pleasing. So I'm just super happy that my office is finally finished and I can be more productive because this desk has so many amazing features. Again, if you think you might be interested, go check out their website. It's in the description. And if you want to see how I created this studio from start to finish, go watch this video.